One of the main reason I didn't start posting earlier is because I think I had an identity problem. So let me explain myself. I came to Australia 6 years ago and I was just on a working holiday visa. And 10 days after, it COVID happened, so they closed the border and I ended up staying. For a long time, I was living in a one bedroom apartment with 5 people and I didn't have a job or anything. I used that time to improve myself in English because at that time I wasn't really speaking English. I worked out a lot and then I decided to study. And I wanted to study just 1 year because I like the way study worked in Australia because it's very different than in France. And after that, I decided to study another year and then I wanted to work to have experience in the area of my study, and then I also end up building my own business because I saw a gap in the market. So the thing is that I never knew what was going to happen in my life. Everything was always a maybe. Maybe I'm gonna stay, maybe I'm gonna leave, maybe it's not gonna work, maybe I'm not gonna like the studies, maybe maybe that was the thing. And then this kept happening throughout the whole process. So now it's gonna be 6 years that I am in Australia, and finally I know who I am and I know what I want and I know my direction, but it took me that long to find it. And now I know that I want to speak about how moving abroad is difficult, which mindset I was in and the mindset I am in now, how I did my study, how I built my business, and how is it going. But the maybe, it was about everything. Even it was like 2 years ago, I met a man, and this man wanted to go back to his country, and I considered maybe going back with him to his country. So I didn't know until recently that it wasn't what I wanted. And even for my YouTube channel at the beginning, I wanted to do skincare because I have a friend who is supplying me with Korean products, and I am trying them because I always had a skin with problem. I had acne when I came to Australia because of the sun. I had melasma, and so I'm trying different products. And also for my hair, because with the stress of all this process, at some point I felt that I lost a lot of hair. So I'm trying out product because also in my business in the future my vision is to build skincare product and a massage oil because my business is all around wellness. That's another subject. I just think that there is so many options of us. You can become anything you want. You can become a farmer, a city person, a beach person. You can have this style of clothes or this style. You can wear this perfume, have that sense. But there is only so many scents that you can wear a day, and that's the thing I've realized with that man, because he's going back to his country to live in a farm, and my mom has a farm. So I like going on holiday to my mom's farm and to be with my family and have long dinners and lunch, and it's amazing. But I've realized, am I that person? Do I want to live my whole life in a farm? No, because my mom moved out at this farm when I was 16, and I didn't grow up in a farm. It doesn't matter, it's not who I am at the core, and that was the thing. Maybe I go back to live in that farm, maybe it's gonna work and I'm gonna stay in Australia. Maybe it's not gonna work and I have to go back to France. It was always maybe. And now to have certainty also in my direction, that is amazing. And I know sometimes it takes time, but I think that is the most important thing you have to find for yourself. I always picture it as, imagine you are in the middle of the ocean. So there is a 360-degree possibility. If you take that direction, you're going there. If you take that direction, you're going there. If you take that, you have to think about it, because if you take the direction to go to Europe and you change middle of the way and you want to go to America, then it's gonna be a lot of wasted time in the ocean, like in that direction that didn't lead you nowhere. So you have to really maybe sit where you're at right now in the middle of this ocean with your doubts, with whatever is going on in your life, and think, where do you want to go? Because it's going to take a while to go there. And once you start it, enjoy the journey and know where you're going, know where you're heading. And I found that myself really, really recently, and that's why now I am so able to speak and to be myself and to share my journey, because I know where I'm going, I know who I am, I know what I want to share. See you soon.